Hello and welcome, my connoisseurs of movies, literature, and TV shows. You ready to shake things up? You may call me Luke Dallaroo. And before we get truly started, I want to give a shout out to Mount Hood Theatre. Yes, Mount Hood Theatre in downtown Gresham for some rather tasty gourmet popcorn. During the lockdown, they started their own gourmet popcorn. And the flavor I had while watching this particular TV series, well, Netflix series, was loopy fruit, which tastes a lot like the cereal of the same name. Very, very, very good. They have drive-ups where you can purchase some of their snacks, their popcorn included. And they have really good tickets. I love that theater. It's awesome. And by the way, watch that first step. Now, if you know me at all, then you know that I cannot stand people calling the autumn season fall. Since when I hear the word fall, my mind jumps to people ending up on their butts because something hinders their next step. What does that have to do with autumn? Well, actually, it has everything to do with falling. Or more to the point, the fall of the House of Usher. The Netflix limited series based on the Edger Allen Poe story of the same name. Shamefully, though I own the book, I have yet to read the book. I know I'm so bad. Because I have not read the book, I will only be telling you about the TV series. Well, Netflix series. If you want me to read the book and do a compare and contrast, let me know in the comments. Now, the very first episode sets up the players, the people, the cards of the House of Usher that will fall. Roderick, head of the family, his sister Madeline. You have Roderick, and then you have Madeline, and they rule the House of Usher with iron paws. Then the rest gets a bit sketchy because I'm not sure which child and which is spouse. I literally had to watch it more than once to sort that out. I know if you're not paying attention, they will sound confusing because they threw a bunch of names at you very quickly. But the easiest person to recognize was Roderick's youngest child, Prospero, called Perry by his friends and family. Then you have Camille, Tamerlane, Victorine, Leo, and Frederick is the oldest of the children. Frederick had a daughter with his wife Morella, and her name is Lenore. Hint, hint. Poe's Raven reference. Roderick's first wife and the mother of Frederick and Tamerlane was named Annabelle. That is a fun poem to listen to. Specifically if a very specific person is listening to it, but I'm not talking about him anymore because none of my flavors are in this show. And you learn of Prospero, Camille, and Leo's accidental, untimely deaths. Heck of a way to start a TV series. 3 people dead and people going, why? What happened? Well, Roderick is tired. He's just tired. He's dying. He knows he's dying. So he calls Carl Lumley's character, the Auguste Dupin, about why they all died and how it is entirely his fault. Now, Dupin has been trying to incarcerate. Big difference. He has been wanting to incarcerate the Ushers for years. And yeah, mild spoiler, Roderick metaphorically knifes Dupin in the back. And that's when the I am going to make you pay boner hits Dupin. And now he's learning every dirty little secret they have straight from the head of the family. Trying to prevent the arrest of the Ushers is a lawyer named Arthur Pym, played by all you Star Wars fans out there by none other than Luke Skywalker himself, Mark Hamill. Pym is such a creepy little viper and plays just as dirty as the family, if not worse, since he knows the laws. And he knows how to use the laws to get what he wants. He is a nasty, nasty fellow. But he has one thing that the Ushers did not. Lack of leverage. That comes into play later on in the series. But I digress from Monsieur Pym. Now, each episode explains the deaths of the cards that fall. Then the subsequent spins to make the Ushers look good. It is horrible to lose anyone under any circumstance. However, the Ushers seem to walk right up to death on the regular and say, "Try and take me, you wimp." And then the rest of the family is left wondering, why has my family been taken? Because, well, like Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, death doesn't just take them willy-nilly. Oh, silly, silly Belle. Death is a she in this one, the deal maker. She gives them a choice and a chance to change their minds and walk away. And yet they don't. This might sound like a side tangent. However, I do not like primates as a whole. Though, of all the primates on this planet, chimpanzees freak me out the most. They are the worst, in my opinion. They are, and part of the reason why they freak me out the most is because they are one of the few animals that every zoo in the world has a shoot to kill if they escape order on them. Because when they get darted with those sleep darts, they get 10 minutes of unrelenting rage. A hyped up, angry chimpanzee can do a lot of damage in 10 minutes. Hence why they are a shoot on sight. Ugh. Tigers and gorillas do not have that order. Now, bear that in mind. And I went on that little side rant for a reason. And if you haven't been on my channel at all, spoilers. A medically experimented on chimpanzee mauls Camille. Death warned Camille twice to leave. She doesn't because she wants to find out what Victorine is up to. The freakiest part is that Death concealed the chimp and spoke for all the chimpanzees in the cages, explaining precisely what Victorine did to them. And then Death vanished, and the chimp kills Camille. Freakiest thing in the world. First thing I did was text my best friend and say, why didn't you warn me there was a chimp attack in this movie? Her response, oops, my bad. I didn't want to ruin it. It is a good thing I love her like a sister. Now, aside from the horrible deaths that plague this family, the fall of the House of Usher has tons of Poe Easter eggs. One of them is entitled, one of the episodes is literally entitled The Telltale Heart. They have a pit in the pendulum reference. And at one point, if you're paying close attention to what Lenore and her mother are watching on the telly, you'll see Vincent Price, who starred in many a Poe adaptation. So he has his own little brief cameo. It is awesome to see that master of horror, even briefly, in a modern show. Because like I said, they're watching the telly, and you see him, and then the episode ends. And they're debating on what to watch next when Froderick, as the siblings call him, tells Lenore to get out so he can torture his wife for going to where she was injured. She was injured at Prospero's highly secretive rave, which is where Prospero died. It was freaky. Though, when Death explained precisely what Roderick and Madeline were signing over to her for this deal, I got very, very, very sad. Specifically, when the final scope of the issue shows up. And Death proves that not only can she be nastily sadistic, she can also be kind, compassionate, and merciful. Now, bear in mind, it still has to happen, but the manner with which it happens, instant. no pain, no fear, no suffering, unlike the others in the family. And the final act of jump scare horror this show produced stopped my tears cold. Because here I am bawling, and then it's like, holy crap, what was that? Well executed. Freaky. This show is one of the best examples I've seen of be careful what you wish for. And I don't scare easily. This succeeded many times over where others have failed. And their use of visuals is like superbly timed. Because there's one scene where Roderick is looking out at the rain, but the rain ceases to be rain, it becomes something else entirely. And it chills me to the bone. Oh, it is a good movie. I need to watch it again just to see how many more Poe references I can catch. Because one of the things Roderick did was quote the Edgar Allan Poe poem Annabel Lee, both to his wife and at random times throughout the show. I have to listen again to see if he gets through the entire thing before the final curtain. Have you seen it? Will you see it? Will you watch it again to count the Poe references? Will you watch it again to see if you hear any of his other poems being spoken? Aside from Annabel Lee, because I've already told you he does speak it. Will you count the number of jump scares? Yes, I know people who count the jump scares just so they can map where they are and no longer jump at them. I used to do that a lot as a kid. That's why not much scares me now. So, be kind to me. Be kind to each other in the comments. Pardon, it's really early here and I have not been to bed yet. Kindness is the key to understanding. Save the subscribe button from zombies. Tend to the like button's injuries. And smack that bell so the three of you can escape the zombies. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!